So we're gonna begin on our backs today. So if you come seated with the feet on the floor, your knees bent, and then your back just gently rested on the surface of the earth. You can lay, you can rest, and take a few breaths. I'm gonna just sit up and talk for just another moment. When you found a supported space, let yourself just like drop into the mat. Feel the earth beneath you and start to draw breath into the body and let it just flow graciously out. Repeat that process a few more times. Feeling earth, feeling breath, expanding that air-like quality into the body. And it's kind of funny being here in our homes. I'm in a room in my house where there's just like collections of books and journals and just like records of music and just little collections of things that I've gathered and collected throughout my life. And it's really cool to take a moment on your mat and with your body, with your brain, because you have like this living library within you, just like these little pockets and collections of stories. And I think through our breath and through our bodies, we get to kind of access those, like rent a book, read an old story, or remember a memory, or maybe even a lesson. And I bring this up today as you keep breathing, maybe even turning your breath to a box breath, which would look like inhaling for the count of 4, pausing at the top for the count of 4, breathing out to the count of 4, and then pausing there at the bottom again to the count of 4. You can change that number, but think like square has 4 sides. Your breath can create this cadence, this rhythm, as I open us up with our theme today. So keep that box breath going. And for imagine with the eyes closed, like imagine you are maybe underwater and observing what's going on around and within. And I think of this quality of water, and because of this impactful documentary I just watched about Ocean Ramsey. And she is a woman who's learned how to hold her breath for long amounts of time and can like then develop and study sharks and the relationship that she has to the shark and that the shark has to the ocean. And she was just so sure that her purpose here is to kind of break that original idea that sharks are something that's a monster, something that is not necessary. But in fact, she kind of shows the world how necessary they are through her purpose, through her Dharma, which is learning about sharks and sharing that with the world. So as we go on today, we'll start to flow, but maybe you just keep in your mind your stories and start to play with your idea of purpose, whether that's to show up and be with family and friends, or maybe it's something bigger that impacts others around you or even the world. Okay, let's let that breath go. We'll return to normal breaths and then start our flow. Bring your feet and your arms up and above you, so you're kind of like that box square with an open top, kind of moving through your story with some parts still unwritten. And just open and close your fists and spread your toes. Maybe even start to rotate through your wrists and your ankles. And you might hear some pops and some cracks, and that's good. It's kind of like stuck energy moving out and through. And then let's place our feet to the floor, rise our arms up above, and then flatten down to the ground so your biceps are aligned with your ears. Once your feet meet the mat, then start to pick up your hips and lift into a bridge pose. Good. Take it easy at first, then rest your hips back down to ground. Take your knees over to the right side of your mat. As you do so, you'll goal post your arms and look to the left. Nice. Take an extra breath, filling up through the ribs, twisting through the low back. And then when you breathe in again, separate your feet and your legs. So you're kind of in butterfly, but the soles of the feet do not need to touch. Your head can neutralize, your arms can stay the same. And then when you exhale, close your legs. So now the knees point to the left, your gaze goes to the right, and you're in a little bit of a twist. Amazing. When you breathe in next, take the knees to point to sky, bring the hands behind the head, and then pick up your right leg and your left elbow to meet in the center, almost like a crunch. Good. When you exhale, you'll lower feet, lower arms, and go other side. So your left knee lifts, your right elbow taps, and you curl and crunch and relax. Good. We're going to go again with that pattern of arms and legs in the air. Good. You can find a point, a circle, or just maybe even bring the hands behind the backs of the legs and pull your feet closer to your body. So you're almost in like a forward fold, but here on your back. When you exhale, lower the feet back down to floor. Have your arms raise above your head and lift the hips bridge. Good. Exhale, hips come down, arms separate to a cactus, and your knees go to the right, your gaze to the left. Good. Take a breath in, open up, separate through the legs, find some inner groin stretch, and then close it like a book. Your right leg will close, your gaze will go to right. You'll find that twist on the other side. Nice. Come back through center, hands behind your head. Same thing, or you might lift your feet to a tabletop and then pull right knee and left elbow together. And then switch, left knee and right elbow. Good. You can relax. One last time, hands and feet are going to go to sky. We're not going to repeat this whole sequence, just this part. And it's going to be kind of tricky on the mind. Okay, so keep hands here. The only thing that's going to move is your right leg and your left hand. Reach in opposite directions. Foot goes forward, hands go back. Good. Pull everything back through center and other side. So left leg lengthens, right hand reaches, opposite hands and foot stay towards sky. Good. Keep going. Pull it back with breath in, breath out, opposite hand, opposite foot, reach, reach, reach. And then breath in to pull it back so that hands and feet reach for sky. Go about one more time on each side, kind of noticing where your brain might get tripped up, and let that be part of the experience. Keep using this first part of practice to examine your library. Notice what's going on in the body and the heart today. Okay, after you've done that, we'll bring hands to hold onto calves. So your knees pull into your chest. And then just rock like right to left. And then maybe start to take your back into a forward and a back motion so that you're rocking and rolling. And then finally, make your way up to a seat. If you need to turn to the side of the body and then lift to a seat, that's cool too. We'll take just a moment to breathe in, fill up the belly, the chest, the back of the head. And then a collective sigh out, let everything escape the body, any pressure of purpose, Let it flow out and let yourself just have fun. Follow the path of the flow, and whatever comes up is good, is welcomed, is accepted. Now make your way to your hands and your knees. We'll find table. You might need to adjust yourself on your mat. And then press the hands and toes to grip the floor. And then sit your hips up way high into the sky for a downward facing dog. Head can shake, your tail can wiggle, can even bend through your knees or swivel through your heels. Notice those pauses. If you're listening to music, cool. If you're finding more just awareness of like the hum of the house, tune into that. And then walk your hands to your feet so you're coming to the back of the mat. You'll hang upside down, maybe catch your elbows, find a sway, letting more space come through the backs of the spine. Maybe even more space through the backs of the legs. Okay, find your hands either to floor or shins. Pick yourself up halfway lift. Your tail and head move in opposite directions, and the side line of the body gets long. Good. Exhale, lower. Find a whole body rise to Tadasana, mountain. Your arms can lift, and then your palms can press together and land thumbs at heart. Good. One more time, collect energy, collect breath, lift your hands. When you exhale, you can connect palms and move everything down through the center line. Walk your hands back to a down dog. And then lower your knees, but keep them hovered an inch off of the mat. So you're in a strong tabletop. Your core starts to activate, but let your gaze go long so your neck doesn't cramp. Good. Go 3 more breaths, really slow and controlled, not rushing to get out, but being present. Like, where is the challenge? And how is it shaping you? When the exhale comes through you, lower your knees. We'll bring our bellies all the way down to the ground and then slither your hips to the floor. Pull your hands back to the ribs, squeeze elbows, look forward, press down through your toenails, and then lift your heart for a cobra. When you exhale, you can come back down to ground. Good. Do it again. Breathe in, lift cobra, strong in your back, proud in your heart, and then back down to floor. Last one. Breathe in, lift. Stay lifted. Tuck your toes. Pull your hips to your heels, child's. Good. From your child's, we'll come to a down, just getting to a tabletop. And then from some cat and cow. So belly drops, heart opens, head lifts, and then take the opposite. Chin tucks, shoulders push together, and hips pull forward. Again, you drop the belly, look up, cow pose. Exhale for cat. Okay, find a strong lengthened neck in your tabletop. You might scoot your knees together a little bit and then shoot your right leg back behind you. Toes face the floor. From here, look between your thumbs. Your foot will go right in between the hands. You'll move more forward into the hips. If you have cushion or an extra mat, you can always place it under your knee. And then breathe in, rise the arms. Find yourself in a crescent or a low lunge, rather. Amazing. The hips go more forward. Your arms can reach up and back. When you exhale, take the hands to frame the front foot. You'll sink your hip back to your heel, half splits. Hands can be on blocks if you have them. And then just take an extra breath. You guys can see the same. I'm going to turn just so you guys can see this next part a little bit better. Okay, when you breathe in, rebend front knee, take hands to hips. Then you're going to turn this back shin so that it's now parallel to the short edge of your mat. Your front knee is bent, aligned with heel to knee, knee to hip. And then take your hands to a T. Good. Look down the middle finger like a warrior two. Pull yourself more forward. When you inhale, sweep your arms up. Good. We got two more of those. Gaze goes forward, down middle finger, sink into front leg, and then breathe in, lift up. Last one. Gaze forward. Gorgeous. And then gaze back to the center. Hands to your heart. We're going to straighten the front leg so that your toes now turn to long edge of mat. And then start to tilt your body so that your shoulder, your hip, and your ankle are in alignment. And then expand your arms out so that you're creating one long diagonal. Nice oblique work here. Okay, inhale, cactus arms come through center. Good, and then again, take your body at an angle, expand your arms, almost like you have a ball of energy or a beach ball between the palms. You'll come back up one final time. Reach up and over, arms aligned with biceps, and then come back through your center line. Okay, take your left arm to sky, right arm down the leg, and you'll find like a triangle pose. Perfect. One more breath. As you inhale, rise high in the arms. Take your exhale, bring your palms to the earth. You'll bend your knee, okay? And then turn your shoulders, your hips, and bring yourself back to a tabletop position. Lower your bellies to the floor, come all the way down. Inhale, lift heart, find cobra. Exhale, tuck toes, hips to heels, child's, or you can come to a downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths to reconnect to that energy that's living within you. I think Ocean Ramsey was so able to fall in love with ocean and sharks because it wasn't language, it was like energy that they were communicating with. And it's really originating with this breath. Can my brain, my body, my breath align so my energy's in alignment? And I think that's how we find our purposes too. When we find where are we most aligned? Where do we feel that? Lower your knees, come to table. Good, you'll walk your legs a little closer together and this time stick your left leg out behind you. Good, those toes turn down towards the earth, then look between your hands to step your foot through. Rise both hands high into sky, sink deep with the hips for a lunge. Fill the side bodies with air, with expansion. And then when you exhale, the hands can come to frame that front foot as your hips sink back. That knee is straight-ish. Doesn't need to go all the way, but just enough where you're feeling some sensation in the back of the leg. Okay, re-bend front knee. Take hands to your hips and then turn your body so that you're facing that long edge of your mat again. Warrior two with the arms straight out to a T, then grow depth and lean into that hip flexor. When you come out, your hands can circle up into sky and then go again. Lean deep, gaze forward. Breathe in, lift up, neutralize. Last one. As you inhale, come back up. Hands will come to your prayer position as you turn your toes so that you're setting up almost like gate. And then you're taking some side stretches and creating some strength through your body by lifting your arms up and overhead, holding yourself in space, just suspended in breath and water. And then when you come up, elbows can cactus. Nice, 2 more times like that. Slow hold, full breaths, and then come back. Find the cactus arms. Last one, expansion with breath in, breath out, come back. Nice, everybody. Take your hands to T and then triangle the arms as you lean towards your extended leg. Opposite hand into the air. Your gaze can follow either one. Beautiful. Return, hands down to ground. Square your feet to the floor. Bring your knees back together, and you'll find yourself in a tabletop position. Once you've gotten there, take your hips up into the air, find down dog. Look forward to your thumbs and walk to your hands. Good. You're at the front of the mat. You'll exhale. Inhale, pick up your spine, lift up halfway, and then fold again. Mountain, we all rise. Breathe in. Breathe out. Find yourself falling back through center and down towards ground. Feet step to your down dog. We're going to do a similar thing, but we'll be now on our feet. Again, you have the option to do the same thing on your knees if that feels okay for your body. Take your right foot and lift it into the air. Good. Let's do a stacking of the hips by bending your knee, pointing it into sky. Find that wrapping and maybe even a peek underneath your right armpit. Breathe in, recenter, and then look between the thumbs to step your foot there. You're in a high crescent lunge. Back heel can stay popped as your arms rise above. Okay, you have shoulders, ribs, and hips stacked as you face your hip pointers to the front edge of your mat. Okay, for that half splits, we're doing a pyramid pose. So you can keep that back heel popped, like heel right over ball mount of toes, then straighten front leg, find some inner igniting muscles through that front quad, and then lower your hands to earth or to blocks. And with that back leg popped, you might even bend your knee to find more of that like half split stretch. If it feels good in your body, you can scoot your front foot, keep your front foot, but scoot your back foot and draw the heel in and down and find a traditional pyramid pose. Wonderful. Okay, from here, it's back up with that heel, re-bend front knee, spin back heel in and down, and have your hands windmill to a warrior two. From your warrior two, gaze down front fingers. Beautiful. Breath in, find a little release. Good. Again, lean deep, look forward. Breathe in, rise up. Last one. Nice. Feel strong, feel fierce. You'll come back up with your hands. Okay, then taking your front leg, keep it straight. Then turn your body to find that long diagonal. And then you'll inhale to come up with your cactus arms. Good. Take it back. And then pull it through center. Last one. Angle, long angle, stretch, 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 and then pull it back. Beautiful triangle, hands to a T. Tick-tock the arms. Find some angles through the stacking of the shoulders, through the squeezing and tweezing of the inner thighs, the pulling apart of the feet, and at the same time pulling closer together. Nice. Rebend front knee. Okay, take your hands down to mat. Pop your back heel. Good. We're going to add on here. Keep your left hand on ground. Keep right hand to turn to sky. And you're bending into that front knee to turn towards that bent leg. So you're taking a twist. Good. Option to stay, or you might drop the back knee, bend the back heel, and then grab onto the top of the foot. Take a moment of rest. And then the foot comes down, the hands frame the mat, back knee will lift, and then take yourself to a down dog. Okay, from this down dog, you might just stay and breathe. You might also want to take a vinyasa. So your shoulders will come over the wrists, squeeze the mat, squeeze the core and plank. Then drop your knees. Find your elbows at a bent position, lower all the way down to ground. Toenails press, heart lifts, breath in cobra. Exhale, down dog. Pass through child's if you desire. And then it's your left leg on the move, lifted into the air. Option to stack, the knee bends, then points high as the hips wrap. Good, maybe a peek under left armpit. Recenter, square the hips, find your foot between the hands. Back heel stays lifted, arms lift high above you. You're in a high crescent lunge. Keep breath pulling in and out through the body, connecting it to the brain, regulating your nerves. It's a pyramid. Straighten front leg, keep that front thigh activated, then windmill the hands down. Again, back heel can stay popped, and maybe even play with the buoyancy of the back knee. Or step it slightly forward, draw heel in and down, find a pyramid pose. Your hips try to pull together like magnets. Good. You guys are killing it. Keep that breath going. And then to come out, rebend front knee, pop back heel, rise arms, and then windmill the hands to a T so the back heel drops in and down. You're setting up in warrior two. Good. Adjust in any way you need. Grow depth. Gaze forward over the fingers and then just gently come out, arms to sky. Good, then rebend. Find a deeper expression, a more purposeful or devoted, committed experience. Breathe back and lift. Last one. Nice, everyone. Straighten front leg, take arms to sky, and then tilt your body so you're leaning towards back leg. Good. Breathe in, center the body, cactus the arms. Two more times. Reach, reach, reach. Find those angles. Notice the funkiness you might experience, and then come back. Are you having fun? Is it becoming too serious? Just notice. Okay, rebend, re-straighten the arms, and then turn your shoulders past that front leg, and then a tick-tock of the arms. So you're triangling over to the left leg or whatever leg you have front. And then a gaze either to sky or to ground. Where can you make little micro adjustments so you feel more present? Okay, to come out, lift the chest, rebend the knee. Arms can cartwheel down to the ground, back heel pops up. Keep your right hand to floor, lift your left hand to sky so you're turning towards your bent knee. And the body can just stay here, or you might drop your knee. And then make it a deeper twist by bringing hand in sky to the back of the mat, maybe even connecting to top of the foot. To release, exhale. Hands can frame front foot. Back knee will lift. Both feet are going to come to the top of the mat. So you might bend into that back knee to launch yourself forward into a fold. Lower your head and your heart. Breathe in, pick up your spine to find a halfway lift. And then exhale, lower again. Breathe in, rise fully. Committed. Once again, back to breath, to Dharma, to purpose. Lower your heart back down to thighs. It can be so simple. Hands down to floor, feet to walk to a down dog. Okay, your right leg's gonna lift into the air. And then as you do so, walk your hands to the back of the mat. So you're either gonna find a standing splits, or you might lower your back foot a little bit for more of a warrior three. But if you could keep your back leg lifted, drop your chest farther, you're finding a really intense stretch and balance. Okay, to come out, You'll pull your knee into your chest, almost like a cheetah shape, and then lift up your spine and then find one-legged mountain. Good. Feet to floor, arms to sky, chair. Okay, shift weight to your right leg so your left knee can pull into the air. And then wrap your outer ankle to the top of the quad. Put a little bend into the knee like a chair pose. And then you can bring hands to heart center. You could even keep your fingertips pressed together, but create a little small hole, a little air pocket, a mudra reminding us of focus. That we choose where our attention, where our time really flows. To come out, bring yourself back to a one-legged mountain, turn it into a real mountain, arms down, feet to floor. Find that presence, the calming of the breath. And then rise hands into air. Exhale, fold it forward and through. Hands will walk to a down dog. Been hearing thunder and lightning, making me feel better about my decision today. And if you want to just stay in down dog, you can. You can also flow. Maybe this time you come to up dog. So it's shoulders over wrists. Lower knees for cobra or keep them floated. Bend at elbows. Breathe in, flip over tops of feet. Float legs, float hips. Reach head. Exhale, back through down dog. Left leg is going to lift high. Walk hands to back of mat. Find standing splits or warrior three. Take a draining of breath, like a pouring out. Whether you're just filling up your cup or pouring into somebody else's, know that the effort is enough. The results are less important. Bring your knee into your chest. Find then a lift of the heart. Come to one-legged. Your foot floats. Find floor, arms rise, chair pose. Good. Shift weight to left leg so right knee can pull in. Outer ankle wraps around quad. Hands can sink to prayer, Anjali Mudra, or that focused mudra. Sink lower to find a deeper expression and stretch through the back hip, maybe pulling your knee down. Good, everyone. Inhale, rise the hands one-legged to Tadasana. All limbs reaching towards floor. Flush it through. We're going to repeat and add on. Hands together, float through center. Pick up spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, walk hands to down dog. Stay or flow, hips to plank. Elbows bend. Heart lifts, breath in, up dog or cobra. Exhale, flip over feet, down dog. You can always press through your child's first. Come back. We got one more round of activity and then some rest coming soon. Lift your right foot. We're going to do the same thing. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. Good. Breathe in, pull knee towards nose, rise chest. Find one-legged, and then sink to chair. Good. Left leg is lifting up. Cross over, figure four, sink deep. Flex that foot. Good. Come back. Stay this time. Lean back slightly, maybe extend your foot. Step it halfway up your mat, and then take a big launch. Arms either reaching out in front of you or reaching back behind you as your back foot gets light and you're in a warrior three or airplane. Good, big breath. From airplane, pull your knee into one-legged mountain. Good, take left hand to knee, right hand to low back. Either turn your gaze to the back of the mat. If you want to make this more challenging, you may close the eyes or grab peace fingers to big toe or outer edge of foot. Extend your leg. and maybe extend your arm. Keep breathing. Okay, here's a big move. Bring your knee back again. Take your knee out wide. Come to goddess. First, this front first heel plants, then you can turn your opposite foot. Okay, take hands to the knees. Sink a little lower. Good. Opposite shoulder to inner thigh, to opposite inner thigh. So you're taking a twist and a dip. Breathe in, a twist and a dip. Good. Maybe some more pops and cracks. Go one more time each side. Nice. Okay. Bring the shoulders to stack over the hips, hands to a goal post, and then sink your hips as low as you can. Maybe return to box breath. 3 rounds. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Pause. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds. What happens when your mind has something else to focus on? Then explode into a star. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Shoulders are gonna pull back, hips go forward. Good, expand in all directions. Take all of the lessons and give them back out to those that are struggling with the similar things as you. Then pull everything back with breath in. I started losing my breath there. Turn your right toes to face back of mat, left toes to face the long edge of your mat. Take your hands to a T, slide shoulders forward. One more triangle. Nice. Then breathe in. We're going to the other side. Turn your feet, this time a pyramid pose. So your left toes are gonna turn. Your right toes will come to like a warrior 1 leg, and your shoulders and hips are gonna face short edge of mat. Okay, breathe in, lift and lengthen. Breathe out, find hands tented to floor. Take a break in a pyramid pose, or you might take flight by popping back heel, bending back knee, and then take a little launch forward, kick your heel to your glute. If you like that, you might take hand to wrap back. Good. Last pose. Feet to floor, hips sink, arms rise, chair. And then we flush it all through. Lift up mountain, maybe lean back, and then exhale all the way down and fold. Pick up halfway, inhale, and then hands ground, feet step to a down dog. And you know the drill. You can either come to bellies and find cobra. You might take out the vinyasa completely. And we'll meet in a down dog. Everything on the other side. And then sweet, sweet, sweet rest arriving soon. Left leg lifts high. Walk your hands to back of mat. Pull knee into nose. Rise chest. Then sink feet, lift arms, chair. Good, right foot's lifting. Cross the ankle onto the quad, pull your knee away, and sink deep, figure 4. Inhale, lift back up, lean back, lengthen your leg, step your foot halfway up your mat, and launch into an airplane or to a warrior 3. Good, from here, come up with your knee. You're taking a twist, right hand to outer knee, left hand to lower back, turn towards that leg. I'm turning to face you. Good. From here, option to expand it. Connect to big toes, lengthen, look, maybe extend arm. And then it's that big transition to a goddess. So you'll take your knee wide, plant your heel, adjust the opposite. Take your hands to goalposts. Good. And this time, take your hands to rest, maybe layered on heart. And we won't do box breath, but we'll lift opposite heels. So lift right, sink deeper, lower. Lift left, lower. Keep going. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Let's go 3 more each side. Nice. Notice what muscles are helping you work here. What perseverance of the mind is keeping you committed. Okay, lengthen, reach up. Okay, we have our left toes facing short out of mat. Turn your opposite foot so that you're setting up for triangle, arms to a T, shoulders slide, hands stack. Good, moving toward left leg. And then breathe in to lift back. Turn to your feet. Now turn to opposite directions. So we kept our hips open for this. Now we're closing them. So move your right toes forward. Have your opposite hip turn to square the front of the mat. Your back foot can either stay popped or lowered. Straighten both legs for pyramid. Arms either out in front of you. Rest on blocks or water bottles. You get to be more creative here at home. And then if you want to take that little lift, a back heel pop, a bend of the back knee, and then kick your heel to your glute, find a little balance, maybe even taking left hand to back a foot. And if you have that, cool. If you just want to experiment, that's cool too. And then when you're done, feet land, hips drop, arms sweep, you're in chair pose. Exhale, you can rise all the way up and then fall back down. Pick up your heart, halfway lift, hands plant, feet step back, come to down dog. When you're in down dog, last opportunity for flow if you want it. Plank to then a heart opener. And then everybody can meet in a child's pose. Let yourself be in your breath again. And just take note of where you've traveled. Maybe even how you found the practice of yoga or how the practice of yoga found you. Or anything that you faced and then had the privilege or the honor of sharing to help somebody going through a similar experience or taking a passion and giving it to the world, whether that's through art or through work, or maybe just through love, connections at the coffee shop with smiles and kind love notes that you leave for random. Just take notice in all of your work, how much it ripples. And doing it authentically and aligned is hard to do. But we're trying, we're learning. Keep pulling that through your experience, knowing everyone's doing the best they can. And then come to your bellies in your own time, finding the hips resting to mat, maybe the forearms stacked and your temple resting to one side. Let yourself feel a cool down. Exhales out through the mouth. Trusting the unfolding. You can turn your opposite cheek to the other side for just a few more moments of like reeling yourself back in, recollecting. observing again after the body went through all those different postures. And just notice where you feel most alive in this sequence or outside of the mat, and do more of it. We're going to pull ourselves to Sphinx. So our forearms are on ground. You have your shoulders stacked over your elbow. You can finger grip the mat, and at the same time, like your hips pull forward to your elbows and your elbows pull to your hips. Take your head in a circle. So you'll go right ear, right shoulder, and find a half circle, or you can go all the way around. Almost like you're looking at the globe all the way. Good. Go other direction. Knowing that although bringing it back to Ocean Ramsey, although there is ocean connecting all of land masses, fighting for something that you believe so wholeheartedly is global. And sharks do impact ocean, and ocean does impact breath, and breath impacts life. It's this like full circle cycle. Okay, from here you can lower your head, pick up your feet, shake it from side to side. You can now take your feet in a circle as you rest your forehead to the hands. Take your feet in both directions. Everything impacts everything. We're going to take a back stretch, floating legs and arms. So bring your legs and arms to reach behind you, arms by sides. Then gaze forward and float just on your hip pointers. Almost like you two are communicating with ocean life, not with words, but with energy, with body movement. Pick up heart. Be proud in the chest, lifted in the gaze, trusting with the eyes, active everywhere. And then exhale, rest a temple, lower the head. We're going to go again. Option this time to bend your knees and connect to calves, ankles, or feet. If your knees separated, to make a connection, see if you can scoot them back together. And then with your gaze forward, one more time, lift your chest, your arms, your legs off of the mat. If you have connection of feet, push your feet into your hands to create a little extra resistance. Maybe even a flex in the feet. Okay, when you've had enough feedback, enough sensation, use your exhale to unravel. Let opposite cheek come to mat. Find rest for a few breaths. Our next posture will be a twist. You can either have goalpost or lengthen your arms fully out to a T. And then let's take our right arm, pull it back in so hand is under shoulder, elbow squeezes into ribs. And then pick up the right foot so the knee bends. And then you'll look down your left arm. Fingers, wrist, and shoulder are in alignment. As you pick up your knee, roll and stack the hips, and you can find a little twist and shoulder stretch. If this becomes too much, you can always unravel and maybe find like a thread the needle instead in a child's pose. Take a few moments letting head rest, noticing shoulder, noticing low back. And most importantly, just where your awareness has floated to. Anchor it back to body, to mind. to soul. Dharma. It's like our soul's work. And I think sometimes when we get so deep into our flow state, like time becomes blurry. Work might not even feel like work. Bring your hips back to ground, unravel again. It could feel really nice to come to a little cobra, bringing both hands in, lifting heart, letting your back take the work, not your arms. And then you can rest again, fully lengthening your hands to a T. This time, lower your right temple to ground. You'll bring your left hand into the chest. Left foot will kick, and then you roll and you stack. Your toe can float, or you can point it to tap earth. Knee works up towards sky. Face to floor. And then just reset, reopen again. One more breath. And then close down. Knee can come back, hips can roll. If you'd like, you may just notice what a shavasana on your belly might feel like, with your hands stacked and your body breathing against the ground. Another way to do this can be to flip to your back for more of a traditional shape. So it's almost like each shavasana that you do can like pick up from the last place you left off, last practice. And if you did flip to your back, of course, like a happy baby, your legs up the wall, or just a full surrender of the limbs down to the ground. As you let go of any controlling or even awareness of where your breath is going, like just know that the effort, the work that you've done during these last, 55 minutes is enough, is doing the work. And we do not need to worry about what the results will be. We just get to incorporate them like into our library, a little chapter or a page of a book with our experiences here. So you can make like a period on the page, finishing your last sentence. And then allow yourself to just be. We'll keep us here for just a few minutes, and then I'll read us a little ending quote to wake us up. And while you rest, find that integration is happening. Do all the good you can by all the means you can, in all of the ways that you can, as long as you can. This is a quote by Siri Dharma Maitri. Start to bring that breath back. Maybe it's a really deep sigh out through the mouth. And as you pull back in gentle movements in your body, maybe you notice different sounds around you, whether it's like the buzz of the TV or a hum of an air conditioning, or maybe even like a crackling of a candle. Wherever you are in your home, let light back in through your eyes. Can take a nice good evening stretch, welcoming yourself from that last page and into your next one. Take your time coming to a seat, absolutely no rush. Most of your screens are actually off, so if you want to stay in Shavasana longer, you can stay in this quiet and this in between. This is where I'll leave you for now. Truly, thank you so much for staying so committed to your practice, even showing up on a screen. I will see you guys at the park next week, or maybe I'm lucky enough to see you sometime this weekend. All of my love to all of yours. Thank you and namaste.